Hey, don't mind me. I'm just looking at getting in on some action for tonight.
Fabulous.
Thursday night in September. That means pro football, TC.
And that's just fun.
It's week 2.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Kansas City is hosting Los Angeles. Los Angeles got hammered at home.
I know.
Buffalo is for real. Did you watch that game?
No, I just know. I'm aware.
Well, get in on the action. I have a casino in my hand. The all-new BetParx app, digital casino and sportsbook for PA and New Jersey. It's the only casino and sportsbook app that I recommend. Live in-game betting. Bet all your favorite sports and play all your favorite casino games for real money. Download now in the App Store, Google Play Store, or at betparx.com. KC is a 4-point favorite tonight. Do you have a feeling? Kansas City, Los Angeles, Kansas City, Andy Reid. Does that mean anything?
Of course.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is my guy.
Right, but LA, the defending Super Bowl champions, you don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row?
Yeah, I do.
You?
Yeah.
You're making fun of me now. I enjoy it. It makes me enjoy the game more.
Of course.
When I've got a little skin in the game.
No question.
Got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for the headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. Yesterday, poll results, 13,699 votes were cast. Which is more politically potent in the midterms? Persistent inflation or abortion rights? 65.95%, can we call it 2/3, said abortion rights. The 1/3 said persistent inflation. You know what I'm reminded of today? The fact that early this morning, the president announced that there was a tentative deal reached to avert a rail strike. What? A rail strike? We almost had a rail strike yesterday. Okay, how about 2 days ago? Monday, maybe? If I'd said to you, there's a prospect of a rail strike, would anyone have known what I was talking about? Now, thank goodness it's averted, and even if they can't get the membership to sign off on it, there's a cooling off period, so nothing's going to happen immediately. But the point is, we're now in the final throes, the last 2 months, less thereof, for the midterms. There are things going to happen that we right now have no idea about.
You always say that politics is like a football, the way a football bounces. You never know where it's going to go.
Thank you for that, TC. It's true.
I mean, I've listened to you for a while.
It's true.
I know these things.
I went back and forth with very early this morning with Catherine, my CNN producer,
Sure.
and she said to me, the rail strike, and I said, if there is a rail strike, it will be the issue we'll be talking about on Saturday on CNN. But if it's averted, we won't even mention it.
No, won't even.
And now we won't mention it.
It's incredible.
But
there might be something else to come.
Right. There will be. There will be things that will occur that we have no idea today, and they will impact the midterm election.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be abortion. Maybe it'll be inflation. Maybe it'll be something, an intangible we just don't even know. 68% of Americans approve of labor unions. 68% of Americans approve of labor unions. Though statistically similar to last year's 65%, the current reading is the highest Gallup has measured since 71% in 1965. If you're wondering when was the all-time low in terms of approval for unions, that came in 2009, 48%. The only time it dipped below majority approval, which I thought was interesting. Today's poll question, I struggled with how to word this, and here's ultimately where I came down. Is Ron DeSantis's shipping of migrants to Martha's Vineyard an effective means of calling attention to porous borders? You might not approve of it. There's a state senator who actually represents represents Martha's Vineyard in the Massachusetts legislature, get my New England states right, who said that it's inhumane. You might think that it's inhumane. Is it nevertheless an effective means of calling attention to porous borders? You've now got the governors of Arizona, Florida, and Texas, all doing exactly this. A bus today pulled up at the vice president's house.
2 buses, I think.
2 buses.
Yeah. I voted yes on the poll question. Not because
you think it's effective.
Not because I agree with what
you don't
he's
have
doing.
To approve
I
it.
don't agree with what he's doing. I think it's terribly unfair to the people that are being used, but there's no question it's effective. You can't tell me it's not effective.
I mean,
who could argue that?
I mean, Edgartown?
Yeah.
They're in Edgartown.
Larry David is in Edgartown.
And David is in Edgartown.
And by the way, kudos to the Vineyard. They're completely rallying and are with no advance notice. There's no advance notice. These people landed with no advance notice, and the community is rallying. They got the places for them to stay overnight. They're feeding them, but it's just. Okay,
I love Edgartown.
Now what? Oh, so do I.
Love it.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, but you don't want to arrive there as a migrant
of course
with
not.
no idea. They had no idea.
By the way, no idea, no language. No one spoke English. They had a folder.
At an emergency meeting on Zoom, Edgartown Fire Chief Alex Schaefer said the town of Edgartown would take the lead in housing the migrants overnight. The migrants were later transported by bus to St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Edgartown. Representative Dylan Fernandez, who joined the relief effort at St. Andrew's Church, said the migrants were pawns in a political game. Some of them were told lies. They were told they would receive housing and jobs immediately upon arrival. Officials said there were indications more people could be on the way, but no additional planes had arrived by truck. You wonder, where else is DeSantis or Abbott? Where else are they thinking? Because they're just like sitting back with a map of the country and imagining the most progressive bastions.
Right.
It's like, okay, New York City, right? Martha's Vineyard will be another place.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's devious, it's clever, and I think it is effective. I do. Because now what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of those poor people and the border, and what are we going to do about the border? And I know there's an issue with the border, even though my solution is not the same as a DeSantis solution. I think it's
well, I mean, look,
this is what I would say, brutally effective. To
DeSantis's point, you Martha's Vineyard types, you folks in Edgartown. You want to be a sanctuary city.
Right.
It's easy for you to claim you're a sanctuary city. We are bearing the brunt of it.
Right.
So go vote on that poll question. Is DeSantis's shipping of migrants to Martha's Vineyard an effective means of calling attention to porous borders? The president yesterday was at the auto show in Detroit. Biden announced, I love this news, $900 million in grants for electric vehicle chargers across 35 states, including Michigan. The first round of $5 billion in funding appropriated through the bipartisan infrastructure law. Remember, part of the money of the bipartisan infrastructure bill is exactly for this purpose, because there are still charging deserts. There are still some places in my life, there is a trip I take, one trip in particular, where I need to be alert that I don't get caught short, especially in the dead of winter, because you drain your electric battery.
I remember right when you bought that car, you were concerned about letting it drain down, and like you were, I know what it was, because you were so used to not ever having under a half a tank of gas.
Never. For me to be at half a tank is to be on empty.
And
I once as an adult ran out of gas with a faulty gas meter.
I was gonna say, no way.
Driving our youngest son home from a White House Christmas party.
I had a recollection. Okay.
White House Christmas party.
That's not
right.
Right.
He's met the president 90 minutes ago.
Right.
And now with the old man, he's run out of gas in a dangerous place on I-95.
Oh no. But how is that manifested itself with the charge?
This is really important, because I want to say this. I've never been in a bad position with my electric vehicle.
Well, that's what I wonder.
Never.
Okay.
I'll say it. It is only when I visit relatives in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, that I'm in trouble.
Not as many electric vehicles there. Is that what you think?
None. There are no chargers. There are no chargers in northeastern Pennsylvania. This is Luzerne County.
A portable charger?
You can actually plug into an outlet in a house with a 3-pronger, but it's gonna take all night and only give you a couple of miles. The superchargers are a 20 to 25 minute proposition.
But even that, I think of how we drive up and down. Would you have to stop and take 25 minutes out of a long drive? That's
let me say this: when I go fishing, if I pull into the Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania charging station, it's really not in Jim Thorpe, but that's what the marker says on the turnpike. I plug in my car. There is a McDonald's, Burger King inside.
Flame broiled.
I go in and eat a Big Mac.
Not a Big Mac. It's a Burger King.
A Burger King, a Whopper.
There you go.
I eat a Whopper.
I'll just walk you through this.
Woo.
Wow.
You know what? I'm all screwed up because I saw that the pillow guy got arrested at Hardee's or served with a subpoena at
Right.
Hardee's. And it stood out in my mind because I haven't been in a Hardee's forever.
I haven't either.
I'm a Taco Bell person.
There was a Hardee's growing up. Hardee's and Arby's.
But if you give me, the roast beef.
Yeah.
But if you give me a choice of all fast food,
where are
I'm
you going?
loyal to Taco Bell.
You are. I know that.
I'm loyal to Taco Bell. And
the
I
ground
have a
beef.
soft spot for McDonald's because I work there.
Of course, delish.
But among the big sandwiches, I like a Whopper.
Okay, well, good. So you eat a Whopper, charge
By
your
the time
car.
I eat the Whopper, the car is charged. That's what I was trying to say. Okay? By the time I eat the Whopper, the car is charged. Okay, let me get to political news
There's
in
more.
Pennsylvania.
Go.
This is unbelievable. So you know that everybody who listens to me, I think, already knows the background on Fetterman and Oz relative to debates. Fetterman finally says he'll debate. Okay, when is Election Day? What is the date for
What is the
Election Day?
actual date?
Yeah, what is the actual
Hang
date?
on, stand by.
So Fetterman has said that he will debate on October 25th. Okay, he's waiting until as late as he can possibly go. What is Election
The
Day?
8th.
The 8th. So
I knew that.
I thought I did
Yes,
too.
yeah.
Early voting will begin next week in Pennsylvania. He wants to bank as much as possible. So strategy number 1 for Fetterman is push it off as late as possible. Hopefully if he could push it off till the 9th, that would be perfect.
The day after election.
Yeah, he'd like to push it off to the 9th, but apparently he wasn't able to make that
The
happen.
7th.
Okay, the next thing is let's make it on one of the least popular networks. Have you ever heard of Nexstar Television?
With apologies to Mr. or Ms.
I mean,
Nexstar.
I am a media. What do I want to say?
What is it? Is it
Geek.
like a?
Who the hell knows what it is? I can tell you what it means. It means that the conventional broadcast networks, unless something changes, won't even be showing it. So, put it on a channel that nobody can watch and make it as late as possible. And then there are apparently, I know this from Oz's statement, there are some parameters that Fetterman has requested. In response to Fetterman's campaign agreement to debate next month, the Oz campaign requested 3 accommodations due to the Fetterman campaign's alleged request to use closed captioning during the debate. The Oz campaign said in a press release that it would accept the debate invitation if 3 things were found to be acceptable to Fetterman's campaign. 1, that at the top of the debate, a moderator explained to the audience that Fetterman is using a closed captioning system during the debate to explain any delay between him being asked a question and responding. So apparently Fetterman will be relying on closed captioning during the debate. 2, that the questions asked by any Nexstar employee during the practice sessions, what? Practice sessions?
What are practice sessions?
Bear zero resemblance to the actual questions asked during the debate. Apparently he's going to get Fetterman is going to get 2 practice sessions. The Oz campaign says we are totally fine with Fetterman practicing with the closed caption system, but not with Fetterman practicing his answers ahead of time in conjunction with the moderators. That seems right. 3, that the debate be extended. Oh, this is the other thing Fetterman got. So as late as possible on a channel nobody watches.
With
and
practice rounds.
Practice rounds and only 60 minutes. Only 60 minutes.
I'm okay with that because I want to go to bed.
The debate be extended from 60 to 90 minutes because John will be on delay.
Can we start at 6 p.m.?
And the Oz campaign says, we think it would be unfair to viewers interested in the candidates' positions to waste airtime while closed captioners type questions and answers. The whole thing sounds like a shit show. But remember what I said. Oz, be careful. If you put that bar so low, he'll be able to step right over it.
Wow.
Okay, something unlike the Fetterman-Oz debate that will be watched is the Queen's funeral. On Monday, 4.1 billion people expected to watch the largest live viewing event ever. By the way, up until now, what's the record holder? 3.5 billion who reportedly watched Muhammad Ali open the Atlanta Olympics in 1996. Did you see, TC, that one of the guards standing guard in Westminster Hall dropped over.
I mean, dropped. Like, it wasn't just like he kind of crumpled gracefully. He literally
like a ton of bricks.
Like over.
Right, like a ton of bricks.
And they're standing. So I by the way, I was watching the royal family because they were standing guard at the four corners. So Princess Anne was there and King Charles was there, and I was concerned about them being on their feet. The guards at least are sort of used to it, but I think it's a terribly solemn and very rigorous situation.
I saw it happen.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I saw it happen once at an event where I was speaking. It was at the Garden of Reflection.
No. Someone went over.
There was a guy on a September 11 anniversary who was standing there with a flag in uniform and just standing at attention for so long, he dropped.
And it was the same thing because this guy was on a riser too. I was afraid he could have really hurt his head. That really scared me. I hope he's okay. I haven't heard that's.
I got to get to two other things.
Okay, go
Baltimore prosecutors have moved to vacate Adnan Syed's conviction in the 1999 murder case brought to fame in the Serial podcast. You might remember, I can't believe it's been since 2015. The most popular podcast, the most downloaded podcast ever.
Millions and millions and millions.
I did not buy into it. I thought it was like a radio drama, but not evidence-based. I had a lot of issues. I don't remember all the facts of it, but I did write a column, thank God, which preserves my memory. This I do recall. The prosecutor was named Kevin Urich. And I think the only media interview that he gave was to me.
She didn't interview him on the podcast. No. Which I find very interesting.
Yeah, I interviewed him.
Yeah, it was the first time.
And I think we're going to release it today as a daily podcast. So if you're interested in the Adnan Syed, the Serial case, you'll want to listen to my podcast. You'll also want to listen to TC After Dark because today is a Thursday.
It is.
So you'll want to make sure that you listen to TC's.
It's on the Queen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, as it should be.
Yes.
Okay. Finally, though, TC, auctions. I love monitoring and seeing what's going on in auctions. I told you the story about Keith Haring, the famous so-called subway artist, sadly gone at an early age, but a Pennsylvanian from Kutztown, PA, who drew a radiant baby, if you're familiar with, that's kind of his iconic brand, in his childhood bedroom. And it was 3 inches by 5 inches. The people who own the house cut out the wall, including a light switch, and it was auctioned yesterday. The range, what was estimated, you can never rely on the ranges. The range was $30,000 to $50,000.
And?
It ended up going for, hang on, $143,750.
I'm telling you.
$143,750.
That's incredible.
Yeah, sometime before his death in 1990, he drew that on the wall in the home where he was raised in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. So $30,000 to $50,000? No.
Nope.
$143,750.
Incredible.
The winning bid. And you will remember that Jennifer Gwynn was a guest on this program 2 days ago.
Yep.
Elon Musk's girlfriend at the University of Pennsylvania putting up for auction at a different auction house photographs of the two of them together, as well as a piece of jewelry that he had given to her.
Right.
What else? The birthday card.
The birthday card.
And the birthday
that
card.
He signed, yep.
Total hammer on everything combined, $132,212. With buyer's premium, it means that purchasers spent $165,267.
So give me an example. Like,
okay,
the
14 karat gold necklace that was presented to his college girlfriend.
That they thought would go for what?
I don't remember what it was expected to.
Okay,
it went for $51,008.
Oh my gosh!
$51,008.
Come on, what did the photographs go for?
Okay, the birthday card closed for $13,314. Happy birthday, Jennifer, a.k.a. Boo Boo, love Elon.
Oh, my gosh.
The photograph that Musk used in his Twitter image yesterday, remember we talked about that?
Yes, Jennifer texted me.
$7,500, which with buyer's premium means you paid $9,375.
That's incredible.
The photograph of him at the computer, the Elon Musk at a computer, closed at $5,679 with buyer's premium $7,098. And the photograph that I liked,
the one in the quad,
only went for $2,186.
Now you were
with buyer's premium $2,733.
Now this is interesting to me because you were floating 1,000.
Right.
Would you? I know you. You might have inched up. Just a little. Wait, did you buy it? Did you?
Now, it would be a mistake to think.
Wait a minute. Did you?
It would be a mistake
Michael
to think.
Smerconish, look in my eyes. Did you buy that?
I'm just having fun with you. I am just having fun with you. And I'll just say this. It would be a mistake to think that, like if you see 2,186 and you say, damn it, I would have gone 2,500. Well, it's a mistake for you to think that you would necessarily have gotten it because whoever it is that paid, whoever it is that paid that, maybe they'd have paid that. You know what I mean? You can never look at the hammer number and say, oh, I would have done it. I made a mistake, because you just don't know.
Why? Then you could keep going up and up and up.
Well, but what I'm saying is you can't assume that this was the total and final number that the winning bidder was going to pay.
Oh, got it. I understand.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Fun stuff,
good to
right?
know. Yes.
Fun stuff.
I can't wait to have that hanging in the studio.
If I were the purchaser, I'm not. It would hang in the studio. No, it wouldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, is Ron DeSantis' shipping of migrants to Martha's Vineyard an effective means of calling attention to porous borders? Go answer that at Smerconish.com. See you tomorrow.